Hey, Kimmy, baby, I had a book over here in this drawer. You seen it?
You mean a little black book? Oh, honey, I cleaned out those drawers in that whole room and made a big donation to Goodwill. But don't worry, we can get you another one.
Oh, hell no.
You're never going to believe what happened to me today at the Goodwill. I found a book of seed phrases, honey. I can get those hair transplants now. Oh.
Go best friend. That's my best friend. Go best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend.
I wait for someone to save you. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall. I drive away into the night, and I contemplate for a while. I wish you all the best I can, but I stop myself for a while. I'm saying things I don't believe. The panic's rising up in you. Won't you tell me something new?
Check 1 2 1 2. Let there be cowbell. Let there be cowbell. That would have been a good place to play the cowbell. I'm just saying, you should have played it right here. Yeah. He's not much of a percussionist.
You all the best I can, then I stop myself for a while.
He said boobies.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I should say thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome everyone to Late Night Crypto with Road Dogg, where we take a look at Bitcoin, try to figure out this market, and try to make some money in the way of doing it. Preserve our way of life, try to improve our way of life for ourselves and our families. Get out of this debt-based system and this growing global elitism trying to devalue what we have of value. And crypto is part of that answer. I do fully believe that. You can get there. I think Bitcoin is definitely the solid choice to go with. We like to take our chances on some altcoins to kind of speed up the process. Can't say that that's been working too good lately, can you? I heard someone say, man, these last few months have been almost as bad as the bear market, maybe even worse. And I gotta say, man, it starts working on you, doesn't it? Some of you are feeling that. A lot of you are feeling that. The market's designed to make us feel that way. It does. I feel that way too. I'm tired. I'm like, crap, what is going on, man? Stock market's picking up. Crypto's just hanging out. Meme coins just fly off the handle and everybody's like going, woohoo, look at my new Rolex, bought it with a Pepe Shima Dima Amy coin. And you're like, but I've picked all these really good projects that should do good, and here we are in that psychological phase of the market that's trying our metal. And it doesn't help that you get those people out there saying, no, I'm telling you, right, this is just the top. This is the top of the market right here. It's going to go down. Sure as the world's going to. This is it, man. Look right here. And they might draw something out and you'll say, damn, that does look like it would be a top. Look, this is your bottom right here. Not an argument. I won't disagree. They got an argument. But that hasn't been known to happen in a Bitcoin cycle that I've ever known of, and can never see here on the charts. That we would just go, whoa, well, after the halving, man, election year, 4 years, that's all right, we'll skip it this time. It has never happened. One would think the way that the bull market went here and made everybody rich, or so they claim, that if we came from these bottoms up to there, then we'd all be in our Lambos by now, but I don't have a Lambo. You got a Lambo? This ain't get rich quick, that's for dang sure. You earn this through going through all this crap that we go through, and all the chances that you take, and all the liquidation that you experience when you step out there and say, I want to try something new. I want to try that leverage out. And I commend you for that, because you're trying something new and you are learning the skill. But just know that there's a high cost to learning these games, and even more if you have to sign up for some kind of paid group. And some are decent, some are cool, I guess. I don't know. I have little experience with all of that and don't ever mess with that. But then some prices are out there just outstanding, $10,000, and I will say I'll tell you everything you need. They'll subscription you in. I mean, the cost is already in the market. I'm not going to get on the rant about all the free sources available out there. My Telegram group being one of them, and I point you to free sources of that information. So if we zoom out on Bitcoin, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? I don't want to mess with that chart. Give me a good chart to look at here. You can look at this channel idea. We could make it to the wedge if we want to. We just, we look at different ideas here, but basically the same idea that happens. Oh, that 200 moving average just won't give us a chance yet, will it? Look like we've been rejected again. Looks like we've been rejecting harder and we're wanting to come down. I got this trend line. Where are you coming from? Let me check you out. What kind of argument you got? I don't see much of an argument there. You're cutting through some stuff. I know you're doing some stuff. You're confusing me right now. We're getting rid of that guy. No bias. He's formed here. still, the big things that I think that we should keep in mind is, one, 4-year cycle of Bitcoin, and two, I've been going through my thumbnails from like last year and looking, and you know, it sucked last October too. We get fired up and then they drop us. They get fired up and then it's like they drop us again. It wasn't until the end of October that we started turning around, and it was really November when we started, the very 1st of November when we started to really take off. But it was a hard November, it was a hard October last time too. Now we got chances on our side just from history, and that's historical data. If we have a green September, we should have a really nice October. So I just want to remind you, this market is very notorious for fake outs and manipulating our emotions. So we have shown the first signs of a turnaround, the first signs. We made a higher low, bouncing off of a very significant moving average that we tested twice there. It saved our butts twice. And we made a higher high. We are looking for another higher low, which should be higher than this one. Now this line, I don't really want us to touch it 3 times. We haven't actually touched it. We didn't really touch it the last time, but I see no reason for us to even come that near to it. But if I had to make a guess between what the information is telling me on this daily chart, I would use a little trend line magic and just connect the dots and kind of see where it says we're going to go. Usually if you connect the dots, it tells you a lot of things about a lot of things in life. That seems to be true as far as trading too. It follows right along that line, suggesting to me that we can have a chance to come down here and get that. Just as well as we might have still a chance to respect this area. I'm not counting out that idea yet. We're not falling from there just yet. They scared us today, or it was coming in as yesterday, but it's earlier today. They were making us get scared there with a drop, but yet they came back up. What's up with that? So, if I had to forecast what we might be looking at with Bitcoin, which will have an effect on our altcoins, is that it doesn't look like this 382 is holding very strongly. It does not. I was hoping that it would, and then we could get a strong move. Not seeing that play out. So it looks like we're going to be coming down to these other territories. We've already wicked down here at 59. So 57.8 is the next area where we got a higher high. We should bounce here. We should have a nice reaction here, but there is that little possibility, and I would say if it's going to do it, it'll probably wick down to it, that 55.5 area, the 786. That's touching right here at this 360, so we got some confluence in how I interpret it, that yeah, something like that can happen. We may mostly hang around here and kind of regroup around here, bouncing off this trend line, but a quick wick down there could happen. So I need to get some limit orders ready, because I'm going to try to catch that little falling knife. I've been kind of waiting and trying to figure out exactly how I want to play this when we come down. And then after that, if we're patient and we wait and we confirm it, that it's not going to keep on falling, that we're actually starting to get a bounce. That is the time, in my personal opinion, and according to the instructions left by the greatest trader of all time, W.D. Gann. You know why I idolize W.D. Gann. He's awesome. Don't understand half the stuff that he talks about, but I like what I do grasp on. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. So he suggests that after your trend changes, that next higher low, baby, that's when you jump in. You want to be in. Load up, let's go, pack up the bag. So that's my opinion on it. We're just waiting for confirmation of where that might be, and I don't think we haven't quite hit it yet. I think they want to slow burn us down for a few days, get our hopes up at some points. They may try to get our hopes up right now. I think they will. But here on this particular trend that we just now started, we reached a top, so we're starting a new trend down, right? There's usually little 3 segments there, right? Usually Elliott Wave has a way of explaining it. I just call it like 3 humps and a dump, or this would be 3 dumps and a pump if we do it in reverse order here. So we'll get some zigzag down here. We've already got a little bit, so we got 1, 2, working on this little, is that a 3 or A, B, C, however we want to count that. I'm not an Elliott Wave trader by any means. What did you say, Elliott? He's not even talking to me on this time frame. If this makes you feel better, I think of what I just saw Elliott say, according to Elliott Wave on this daily time frame. Look at this. He suggested this was the fourth wave, and we're just kind of figuring our way up to a 5, which could be 78,000, or up here at 96,000. So overall, when you look on the bigger time frames, Mr. Elliott is kind of bullish. Now, can't exactly come up with those same exact things right now, but I'm not going to discount him. He's proven his stripes before. So Elliott and your confusing waves theories, or maybe it's just the people that talk about it, I don't know, turn you off, but Elliott's kind of bullish in the bigger sense of things, and I don't think we should lose sight of that. We got to keep the end goal in mind, because this is when they want to flush us out. They're good at it, man. They're good at it. They got me way back here. Actually, Crypto Savvy helped, and I'm going to call him out on it, because for some reason he was bullish at one point, right? And then all of a sudden, I don't know, a bear bit him or something, but it was over here. Yeah, this is it, folks. This is when we're going to lose it. And then it was gone, and there was no catching it. It took off a running. It'll come on back. And I was like, look, you're in a rising wedgie, or whatever. It's going to break to the downside any moment now. And you're like, the moment to buy it cheaper never came back again after she took off from 11.5. And that's a kind of moment that can be happening to us. And it seems unreal right now, but it's right around the corner. We are so close. We are close. Right now is the time in the market where they want to come back and flush us out again. And look what they did. Look what they did. They had us all excited right up here, man. This little thing is a rounding. It's getting tired. It comes down. Looks like it's hopeful. It's really just a retest of this line here. And boom. I mean, they dropped hard. Flushed right through the 50. Just came down. Looking for support on the 100 on the daily here. And that freaked a lot of people out, and like, oh, crypto's a scam. Imagine coming from, oh man, feeling good, we're at 12,000. We came from 9,000 to 12,000, and we dropped right back down to 9,000 again. You're like, man, this ain't going nowhere. And if you're drawing trend lines and everything, what have you got? You had this one that got broke. Oh well, we gave up that one. Stretch it down here, and you're like, oh crap, we just broke the major trend line right there. Barely retested it, and we just hung out. Yep. And while people look, head and shoulder to the downside. Do you see it? Do you see the shoulder, head and shoulder? We're coming down. Look at that bear flag. I mean, you have all this stuff going on, and you're going to see this happen again. You will. This is what we get at this point in the market. And this is how good they are at faking us out at this time in the market and breaking trend lines and coming down. And then this. Now, this is, to me, is a falling wedge, and I like the falling wedges. But for everybody, I'm not saying what I did or anything over there. I'm just saying how I interpret, how I look at things now. But everybody else, instantly runs, look, we're coming back down to 8,000. We're coming back down to 8,000, but we didn't. Bearish retest. We're dropping now, so we're looking for that lower low that never came. And I think the smart people that may have been duped by anything were following trend lines, and so there's the breakout right there. Last chance to really get on board. We regained that 9-moving average right here on a breakout, and then we shot past the 50. Everything was good right here, about 10,800, and it was on. And if you weren't in the market at that time, you were chasing. And you would chase, and then it would fall just a little bit, and then you were scared because you remembered all this. It's like, oh, you wasn't sure, but sure as the world. If you sold, the next day, boom, she went up more for like from 13,000 all the way to 16. And you're like, oh my God. And then it drops all the way back down. You're like, oh, this is crap. It fell $2,000, man. I mean, it doesn't seem like much now, but we're talking about moves that, like, nice 10% moves in a day. I mean, over a period of 2 days, your portfolio is going up 20, 30, 40%. Your portfolio, you will see it. You got $10,000 one day. You look back next week and you're like at 25,000. You're like, holy crap. You give it just a little bit more time and you're pushing 50. It starts growing that fast. And if you're not there, if you're not ready, and I'm not saying that now is the perfect time to jump in, but look at all the upside that we have yet to see after the halving happens, which is After 6 months after the halving, the squeeze comes, and it's a doozy. It's a doozy, and then here's where they really come after you. And this is what you got to be prepared for, is some big old drops like we're having now. 30% drops. Out. That was scary as hell. They thought the whole market was up. That's the top of the bull market right there. It's over. That's when George just figured out F2 pool, I do believe, back in January 2021. He discovered that, and that's when George started coming onto the map. And we like George, man. He seemed kind of bearish there about all of that, mad as hell like most of us, and then he turned out to be man. When you have a bad day, you got to go to Cryptos R Us and just listen to George, and he will just get you back on track for the big plan. And then it continues, and we all we've seen is just, you know, the first run up, just this, and we're here, just hanging out near all-time highs. I mean, remember, this was the all-time high here at 20,000, right? And then look, you know, we're hanging out there, all-time highs, and boom. And you're thinking it goes on forever, don't you? Let's go back from where we were at 10,000. Let's go out to that first peak. How many days was that? That was 182 days. The bulk of the move, once she really started going, was about 4 months. Remember, with a period of down that kind of fizzled everybody out. I think the biggest lessons anybody can learn from looking back at this stuff is, you know, you gotta find a system to take profits as it's going up, because you don't want to feel what everybody was feeling during here when they dropped us really down. And that sucked. You thought it was over, man. We came down how much? 55% drop. Do you think it won't happen again? That's a shakeout. And if you don't have a plan to get paid on the way up, man, you ride that roller coaster. Oh, man, it just makes this experience quite unfun. But you can't get too down, because if you play it right and you do take profit in those areas, if you can get a good system to peel it out on the way up, however it works for you, for whatever your strategy is. If you got some stacked to the side here, and it's not just on Bitcoin, this is on altcoins too. The altcoins follow this stuff, right? And then there was a possible chance to make another 100x. I mean, not 100x, but 100% there, and double her up. And here we are at the shakeout phase here in Uptober. And I don't know that we will go straight up. I do think that we will see that at some point. I don't know that it's just like next week, but we should start seeing some things, those first little signs, like back there where, hey man, the shifting. We're just now starting to see the first signs of that shift happen right here, right in front of us, with this higher high and this higher low and this higher high. As long as we put in a higher low here and we start catching somewhere and then coming back, we got it. It could still be right here. It really could. We're at the 50 moving average, and we got enough up here with these other moving averages to still pull us back up. The main moving averages, the bigger ones in play here on the daily time frame, this 800, 600, 360 is still up and to the right. We still got that forward momentum. We just got to regain this 200 moving average, and we're there. We're getting close. And right now, we might want to view this as being some kind of triangle kind of shape. If we're looking at this trend line that way, I don't really like that, but hey, let's extend this out. What does it say? How high do we really need to get to have our actual breakout on this chart? From where we are now, we need to clear 68, about 69,000. But that still doesn't get us over here. We'd still have to clear this one. That's one of the rules of the game. So we need a nice breakout that'll get us above 70, about 70.2 thousand. And I don't care if we'd come back from there. That would be awesome. But what if she's, you know, we're finding a higher low somewhere? What if that wick was it? What if that wick was it? I'm not saying that it was, but what if? What if? Just know that, I mean, we could be looking at something like this. We could be. I'm not so sold on it right now, but we could be. We could be looking at coming down here. Remember, three dumps and then a pump, and then start reclaiming, and boom, it's coming. It's coming. They're just trying to get us. They're trying to get us good too. With some of the stuff that I see, man, about us going down and a bear getting some kind of bear trend. Some of this stuff is, I don't know. It's not everywhere, but some of it's out there. But then you got some of it's, we're going to blast off tomorrow. Don't let them pull you. Jump in right now. This is the last time for altcoins. I've been hearing that for 2 weeks. This is your last chance for altcoins, and then we dump. They get cheaper. This is your last chance for altcoins. We're getting ready to pump. And there are some really good analysts out there in the mornings. Some other good ones really early in the mornings, but sometimes even they, as much as I like them and they got some real straight up wisdom, you see the impulsivity coming in, and then it's kind of cool to see that, because oh man, I can relate to that because I feel that same thing sometimes, But sometimes some of us, our risk factor is a little different than others, and we kind of jump out there a little too early. Sometimes I see some of the tubers jump out, it's a little too early. Sometimes I jump out there a little too early, and we all do. It's those emotions, man. They are sneaky little bastards. I'm just going to call them out. Emotions are sneaky little bastards. They will lie. They will disguise themselves. I'm not an emotion. Oh, no, dude. No, chill. I'm logic. I mean, think about it. You should really sell your weak coins, right? Cut your losses and let your winners ride. That makes sense right now, doesn't it? They disguise themselves as logic. They lie to you. You're down at the very bottom so I should sell at this very low here. Well, it would go lower, and then where would you be then? What would you have? At least this way, if it goes lower, you can get a lot more. I mean, that sounds good, but that's the fear talking. I'm telling you, the devil in this market. Hello, all you beautiful people, all you lovely legends. How are you today? Say hello to everybody in the chat if I can put that over here. Make sure that I got a microphone on and all that good stuff, because I look silly when I'm sitting here going. Yeah, that doesn't fly too good. I do that every once in a while. It sucks. We got Strega in the house. We got Sam. How's it going, Sam? Joe from Trade Intuition, who was here first. That deserves a shout out right there. I just got to say. Congratulations, Joe, for being first. Not many people get that accomplishment. Bracker's Adventure was 69th. Dave was 7th. Let's go. Sound is good with the cowbell and the cowbell. Dave P. DMC, good morning. Good morning, DMC. How's it going, man? Scrolling on down, we got Miss Linda Anderson. How are you, Selena? Wick to 53, 54K to fill CME gap. I like the way I like it when she talks. When she says something, it means something. She's always got some good points. And yeah, that's, I like that. That gives me confidence for my ideas when I hear her say some stuff like that. Even before I've ever shared ideas, when she says, I'm like, hey, that's cool. Good brown gravy, how's it going? I've been banging my head against the wall, wanting to sell. But that's a sign to buy and hold. It is, especially for the investor, especially for the investor, long-term holder, position trader. You got it. At least with a position trader, we can do a range thing. But if it starts getting real crazy, you're like, dude, shouldn't have went so hard there. Striga says, I'm not selling. Hell no. I'm trying to preserve it and grow. I want to grow my Bitcoin bag a little bit more. I've got a spot margin over there, but I don't want to put myself in too much jeopardy, just in case something does happen and we do revisit. So I've got a level, like way down here for a liquidation that I'm trying to keep way down there. So I don't want to overextend it. And it's kind of tricky because I used some of those funds to play with some other altcoins and things. And now I'm thinking like, well, that was just kind of, I mean, it came in handy, but it was just a strategy. But I'm looking back and saying, why, it's all you're trying to grow Bitcoin. Why didn't you just grow your Bitcoin? Oh, well, you tried different things and see what works, what doesn't. But altcoins are not outperforming Bitcoin right now. And I really want more Bitcoin. We We will be trading our coins for nasty. Stable coins are not as nasty as the dollar. They're actually the clean version of the dollar. So I feel bad calling them filthy, but it's just guilt by association because it represents the nasty dollar or any fiat currency from any country, because that stuff is just it ain't real. It's imaginary money. We all know that, but hey, man, that's the Matrix. Whatever. But now, and that's crazy because they're all, Bitcoin's imaginary money. There's nothing supporting it. It's crazy how you can flip the script like that. And I'm like, and I was like, when I started reading about Bitcoin, I'm like, holy crap, they just flipped the script. I'm in. And then Panic sold at $400. Dude, that's stupid. Or maybe less. It might have been at 250. We might drop down there a little. I just remember saying, I got just like what a lot of us feel right now. I was like, oh, what the hell, man? Is this thing going to do anything? But the world is coming for Bitcoin. Now, what about these altcoins that we got? What about these altcoins? We'll take a quick glance. I still maintain we've got to break out from a falling wedgie. Those WYSI give you a little rise up when they pull them up too high. I'm looking at some angles from some channel ideas. So far, this is holding, so I'm not going to bash that idea, but I'm cutting through bodies. It's it's a weak idea, basically. It's a weak idea. And it's maybe trying to go from candle bodies, cutting through these and finding what we line up. It's respecting it. It is, but I'm treating this as a bear trap, and this should be the actual bottom of the channel. Yeah, that kind of silly stuff. It doesn't even line up perfectly over there for what I'm working on. But as long as she's holding, I ain't bitching about it. You know what I'm saying? You feel me, dog? You know what I'm saying? Know where I'm coming from? That's how it is. Total threes finding some support here. We got a 50 moving average beneath a 100. That's kind of suspect. That's weak, actually. But, maybe both of them together can give us enough support that we won't just sink. Maybe we got enough to grab up on this non-moving average and just kind of swim our way to safety back toward the 21 and ultimately toward the 200 moving average on this little guy. In other words, and short of all that jargony jargon, bounce from here and go up, number go up. That would be cool. It obviously being a struggle right now, but we got a chance. It's got a chance. I'll come to the 4 hour saying it's also going to reclaim that non-moving average, and I'm saying, yeah, here's what I like about the 4 hour. This was coming down, this blue line, the 50 moving average, coming down bearishly going to attack this just minding its own business, mind you, just making its own way for an evening stroll around this orange line. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with orange whatsoever. We like orange around here. And that blue line started just kamikaze diving over to that 200 moving average like it's going to come and attack it. And I don't mean that 200 average should take offense for something diving at it, but something changed in that 50 moving average hot. Something started gnawing on it and said, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing here trying to attack that moving average. I did it to the 100. Didn't really have much of an effect on him. I did it to the 9 and the 21, and I kind of feel bad about it. Look how far I knocked him down. And he started turning his heart around a little bit. And so he's starting to curve around, man, and it doesn't have to cross. We could get a reflection. We could get a nice bounce from here, I think, personally. I don't think it'll get very much further than this area here. But I think we could see a nice little pump in our altcoins, and we should, because she did a retest of this bigger pattern. Remember that one? See, we forget what happened earlier a lot of times. That's a problem with this when you don't stay zoomed out. Remember, we zoomed out? We got to break up. It's time for her to catch and start moving on. And see, there we were looking at these little, yeah, she can come up. There's a bigger picture here, so we won't lose track of our bigger pictures at all. We had a good place for numbers to start going up in these altcoins. Higher high. We get a higher low in here, and even if she goes lower, I don't know, when she comes back down, touches this dotted line here, it would suck. I'm not going to like it. I like this one because this is right. We are right now at a breakout price, and that's a key thing to mention, I believe. That price matters for some reason. Price seems to like wherever it crosses these bust out these trend lines. It kind of likes that. So maybe treat that as some kind of imaginary support or something. It seems to matter. But even if we do come back down a little bit, which would suck, we can still come out of this. We just got to be patient. Remember, when we get our next new high, that's when I plan on personally trying to make sure I got my bags maxed out and packed and everything. And it's a coming. I'm not there yet, but I'm watching. Short squeeze a coming, says Linda. I hope so. I hope we get one. Gerthan, can you check out others? Gerthan, you asked that there tonight, and I meant to do it, and I got to talking and forgot. I'm sorry about that. And not others, it's dominance, but others right here. And others, I'm going to zoom out because it's just better to start that way. Oh. I want to remove these lines or some because they're too thick or they're confusing right now. I can't see what's going on here. We had always add them back, right? This would be the main one to look at anyway, that big thick green one, which we broke out of. So on the weekly, it's off to a good start. Yeah, definitely some resistance here. Moving averages are not happy up there, but down here they look pretty happy. That's actually impressive. We'll zoom in on that. Right now I want to get another trend line underneath. That's this one, and see where it takes me, because I think this is the one we need to pay attention to. Right there. We'll park it right underneath that. How did you do? You didn't even touch over here. Put you on the candle body. Does that work? Does that get us to a wick? Does that get us to a wick? That I think we can count that, even though there's a space there. I'm gonna give it some. I'm gonna pretend that maybe we make up that space right here. We need 3 touches. We need 3 touch points to be a good solid place, and this one's kind of weak right there in my opinion. But we got an idea here. 3 touch points means we got a valid idea to play with. That could be our support there. I like that. I like it. Let's stick with that. We don't need to change it up now. I'm not crazy about this cloud behind it. We'll have to see what's going on. But right here. So we came down, lost the 200. We didn't technically lose it. We didn't close a candle under here by these candles, right? We just kind of kept wicking down and coming up. Closed a candle above it. Closed a couple of candles above it. Wick back down. Oh, there was one that was closed below it. There's one. That was the one meant to fool everybody, I bet. Time to go short. Close a candle below that 200 moving average. You know she's coming down, you know. The rules are not 100%. There's things to look for because they'll use those rules against you to fake you out, man. Which is what looks like happened here. And then boom. Look, the 9 moving average. This is what I was trying to get to. The 9 moving average, which barely crossed the 50. He's like, oh my God, that's over now. Something. And she's heading toward the 200. Did a U-turn right here. Did a U-turn. And then price went up. Hey, Joe, this reminds me of something, man. I swear I'd never seen this happen, but we got it documented on the 420 bowl that we did this morning. It was on the 10-second chart, so I'm sure that has something to do with it. But I swear to God, the 9 moving average moved up before price ever shot up. It was craziest thing I've ever seen. It did. And then price went up big. I mean, for that time frame, it had a strong move from that. I don't know. I felt like I crossed universes or something. I thought, oh crap, I think we just broke physics. Somebody fumbled the math there. It's a simulation. All right, guys, let's take a look at some coins that, okay, we're looking at others. So I think on the, well, time's up. Sorry, gotta go. Good night, everyone. So we got to break out and possible retest. We're above the 9 moving average on the weekly, so I'm not bearish on anything above the 9 moving average, even though the Ichimoku cloud is saying, oh yeah, wait till you see what I got in store for you. So I don't like her. She's bad mouthing us right now, but she's not coming into play here on the daily, so let's play with the daily. Daily lost that 9. She's playing around. All right. We lost the trend line there, row structure. That's cool. So, I mean, the question is, are we going to hang out this area here and catch around the 50 moving average, just like Bitcoin and just like Total 3? A lot the same. I mean, we can. It being below the 100, I'm just going to throw this idea out there that, you know, she may come back and dip below that a little bit. maybe retest this wick or something. But even if she doesn't, and she comes down here, retest a trend line, we're good. We're getting ready to do something. I'd see any of these situations could happen. We could be working on some kind of W over support here. You got a support resistance area right here. I mean, from these little guys. So it seems this little zone, if you look at it as a zone, it seems to be holding. Now you got an ugly chart, Rotop. Look at that. Ooh, it's got the live vision. Look at that shoulder head. So, and that's kind of nice. And some people would see this as, you know, a breakout, and then, well, I mean, I know a lot of people will read this. I think it would be an ugly one to consider that way. But some people are looking for flags. Any kind of flag forms after a breakout as a good sign. And depending on how you want to define this, if you want to define it like this, whoo, baby, we're getting ready to break up to the upside. We found our support line, or we found our point of decline here, and ready to rouse. That's a wide one. So I'm always about trying to zoom out and go with the trend lines and see what you got. And trend lines tell you a lot too. See, I'd read that as a bearish retest area, but now we are at a bottom, so we can try to include that. It seems to respect that angle so far. So and now we got a top trend line, bottom trend line, the squeeze in price, and I think she's got a chance to skedaddle to the upside. Give her a chance to. But if she comes back low, it's not too much lower in my opinion. I think a lot of coins are starting to look like, oh, hey, this reflects a lot of the coins. So look, we made this nice double bottom here with a belt line that got breached. We had to dig our hands back down in and resettle things, and I think we'll put our hands back out and then go on our way and probably come up here and hopefully wash a little bit. Need to. That's your example. Gosh. And I thought Sharon was the weirdo. I've got some coins to look at. I was very curious about this when I was looking at Rune. I saw something on the 1 hour. Has she already made a move? I think she may be making it now. It's just starting to look. Oh, you looking bullish to me on the 1 hour? You look kind of. Do I not have the moving averages on that? What I was looking at, because that's clearly a death cross that just happened several hours ago. Let's take a look at her on the 4 hour. Oh, look at you. That's kind of old, isn't it? That would should have been sold way over here. I don't know what this is. Oh, a buy and then a sell up to here. You didn't nail anything. Let's take a fresh look at the Rune, baby. Hell. Do our little horizontals. Just take my little lines there and see what we got. Something through here where we're finding some support and resistance. It's a fuzzy zone. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? I like the channel ideas, even though it's not a perfect channel. It's an idea. Cause a channel, when you think about it, if you step back and appreciate all the things that a channel can be and represent. Sorry, I did my Kamala imitation there. Look, we found another one. All right, so Rune I think is an interesting spot. Now, I think my indicators, maybe the indicators were looking kind of juicy to me. It looked like she was getting ready to make a move, and I saw it on the 1 hour, and apparently I've got to start. She looked, yeah, maybe that was it. But she came out of the woodshed. This is a good sign to me on the 1 hour down here. I didn't have these indicators where I was looking at it. Yes, has that ever happened to you guys? You look at your chart, like maybe on your phone, on the exchange app or something like that, and then you come to the regular chart and you're like, wait a minute, something looks different. Something doesn't look right. You could look at this as local as broadening wedge, and they do have like a 72% chance breaking to the upside. I wouldn't expect it to get much further than, say, this 360 moving average area. This little congestion over here, about 498 maroon for right now. So probably not the strongest move, but there might be one. I would look. She's still got to fight this 200 moving average, and she gets above that. That would be a confirmation that, hey, we can probably bounce up from further from here. I'm going to take a look at FWOG. FWOG. Look at it, COINEX, because I thought we charted it over here, right? It's one of them new young meme coins, and it's kind of cool when you look at it on the daily, and you can see the candle closes clearly above that trend line that we drawn, and that's taking the wicks into effect right there. I do believe that this one's getting ready to bounce up and go somewhere, and I know it sounds crazy right now, but just taking just a simple measured move there, which I think that it could definitely blast above, because if it does make this success, if it does successfully bounce off of here, I expect a parabolic ass move, and we can do a 1-to-1. And just for eyesighting. Now, what I would do different than what you might see others do is I would place it at that very bottom of that wick. Ideally, I'd pull my fib and see where we came there and put it at a fib level, because you have a 1-to-1 move. That would suggest that she could get up here at 30 cents, but she might hit it, she might hit below it, but hey. Just eyeballing at the moment, it's not playing with my fibs. Those are some good quick targets that we got there. Daily looks good. It's above the 9-moving average on FWOG for the meme coin, and on the 4-hour looks like she is trying to break out now. FWOG, are you? No, not quite. She's working on it though. She's thinking about it. She's trying to do it. She's not there yet, but bouncing off this trend line price is going to score. Wheeze the FWOG. Arriba. La Araña, look what she's got to do though. This is why I like my trend line. See, that's going to be some resistance right there getting through there. Let's see what she does. She might blast, I don't know. But we had the 3 pumpsies led to the dumpsies. Is it a bearish retesting down? I don't see that happening. I really don't. I think she's going to try to do something. She's going to try to break back into this trend line. If she does, oh, I think that could be cool. Just following this idea gives us one of these fun patterns that you kind of lost it there though. That's weakness. That's weakness. I'm sticking with 22 cents. We'll just fib her out, baby. Fib her out. We have no history, baby. You got to pull the magic out. I don't know if anybody wants to see us whip our magic out, so I think we'll eyesight it. I mean, that's good too. This works too. Imagine if you got in a frog at 8 cents and you'd have double your money now, and might even be able to get 270% there. From where we are, any degens, what is it, 35 to maybe about 85, 86 cents percent. If it gets up there to 30 cents. FWOG, new meme coin, and so it's low market cap, right? I don't really know. She broke out of the channel, back in, and then got her freak on. Get your freak on. Get your freaky on. Nero is one that I did not play. I know it sounded stupid when we're drawing channels, and so they could go to the topses of it, but look, it went to the topses of it. And then it bounced his head and forgot his name and felt drunk and started wobbling back down a little bit. Probably going to touch the bottom of it, which if you look to the left will probably coincide right over here with this top, so if I had to guesstimate when it would kind of get there, I would probably say give it a couple of days to get back down, if she goes back down there. Good old Nero's a good place to be making sure you're getting paid. We'll keep our eyes on Nero. Look for any signs of bullishness. They might be here. If you see her bouncing off of this area, it might be worth looking at. But, you know, this area down here looks like it would be the smartest play there. They don't go up forever until that one day when they do, and you're like, oh crap, I should have been in. That YouTuber told me to sell is the last days. Dang them YouTubers. Let's jump over to the chat and see if you guys got anything. Uh-oh. Gotta throw some more time on there. Kirsten says, thanks, Doc. Enjoyed the apple water stream. Oh my gosh. That one got out of... It didn't get too bad out of hand, but I definitely did not know that stuff tastes just like candy. There was more consumed than I meant to consume because it tastes so good. I haven't done something that stupid since I was like in my early 20s and pull the cable, show's over. Jackson says fetch please, and Sam says Ronan. How's fetch doing? She lost that big man. That's a big one to lose too, man. Let's zoom out. Rejected over here. Nailed it. And then... Alright, well... On the daily, I mean, this looks good. But, you know, I don't know that that's 3 humps and a dump, but she did lose that trend line. That... Well, take her measure move, and I mean, this one suggests that these don't always hit because we did another. They suggest you come back and talk to Lucy, talk to the devil. Oh gosh, I don't like that. That would suck. What's that? 85 cents? I don't. That's kind of suspect. This would be a support level there at $1.06. Let's fib her out and see where their 618 is, because that's really where I would expect her probably kind of come back to. And that's right here to retest, and that makes a lot more sense. That should be a nice little area. Let's get rid of the noise, because I mean there's other ways you can look at this thing too, right? Basically, and sometimes it's helpful just to zoom out and stuff. So we had this that we're following. It's basically a channel. And then as always, well, at the bottom of channels, you will see, a lot of times you do see a head and shoulders, an inverted head and shoulders form, and that's a good thing to look for. And this was a nice one. It took place over time. It wasn't quickly developed. Now, they can happen inside the channel or outside or both or however. But when a reversal is getting ready to happen in a channel, that's one of the things that you want to look for is an inverted head and shoulders or double bottom. It's really good when you see these. It usually works pretty good. Neckline's a little suspect for me. Some people would be drawing it here, which it seems to be kind of liking. But if that's it, then she's below it, right? I'd go with I'm picky about my necklines. I don't even think I'd do this exactly the way Bukowski does. I think he kind of... Come here, line, you're in my way. But I go with this. I go with the diagonal, just like the trend line. So that's how I would. This is how I would see it. And shoulder head and the inverted head and shoulder. And then I also look about how far these ones come down, and they're about the same, pretty good. But see, now that looks more like a retest area for me. And they got a good chance to come back and retest these areas. So if she were to come down further, I'd be looking down at the 100 moving average and probably along this trend line after we kind of straighten it up. It's doesn't work too good on this time frame. I'm telling you, it's not a good. Oh yeah, I guess we got to come down a little further, right there. So I don't want to cut through any candle bodies, and I got to get a touch here, and I don't have it yet. So I got to cut the candle bodies. Well, yeah, you barely qualifies. I'm that picky, but still, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe 109 in that area gets touched if we wick down there. Could happen. Just as a retest of that trend line. Because that's just how I've seen it work. And we got to, as long as she doesn't come below this line here in $1, this pattern is still valid. But it does kind of suck that she lost this trend line, and that could be a bearish retest. So she could come down a little bit. Elliot is of no help whatsoever. He thinks that's a C wave, so then are we starting for another fresh wave? That would be bullish. So that's what I got for it right now. We're just kind of looking for a new bottom, and then we can start finding our new trajectory, or new, you know, it might be something like this. I doubt it. I think it'll probably come lower. Maybe. But soon, we'll be going back to the upside, so that would be the fun part. And I think we had another one. What was it? Ronin. Check it out on Coinbase. Rounding. It's at $1.49. It's definitely trying to bottom. Don't know if it's going to pull it off. So we got to go by this guy right here to figure it out. So it's retesting its little discount zone. So if we can see it bounce from here, that'd be the first sign. First good sign. Because if she goes below it, I mean, we got all this down here that we could fill in. So not above the non-moving average on the daily. That's one thing I'll be watching close. But she's, you know, there's distance between it, so there could be a rubber band effect, I guess, where we kind of snap back there, and maybe that's happening now. Here's where we're here, and now we're looking. So I've got a fib area that's kind of in there. So, got to be careful with this one. Still got to be careful with this one, in my opinion. You're on the 4 hour. I'm not saying she can't bounce back and do some things, but 800, 600, 360, 200 just now crossed that 360. That might be helpful. But there's some bearish things going on here. So, and this could be a bear trap. I would look for this. Look for it. If we get back over here and across this line, we got a chance for something good happening and something big. Otherwise, it could be a bearish retest and maybe hanging around here or even going lower. So what is that area? The safest way that I would say to play this is you don't have any, you really don't have, this would be like one of your first nicer confirmations, safer confirmations. I mean, you have lots of different confirmations. Confirmation might be getting above the 9. A better confirmation be getting above here, but an even better one just making sure we clear this area and hold it. And then I think you got a better chance and you got better risk reward to do that. Well, you could technically have a pretty good risk reward here if you just want to put stop loss under that last low. I mean, you little DGN. I don't blame you. That's probably what I'd do if it really came down to it being known about it. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you for doing that. We looked at some altcoins and everything. Oh man, I didn't do the news. I haven't done the news in the last. Darn it. Oh well. I probably won't take time to do it, but I would recommend you go check out Layer GG over at Twitter for the latest news. There's some alpha stuff popping off. Final look at Bitcoin. She's trailing up here on the smaller time frame, 6 minute. I'm liking it. She's regaining. She's trying. It's still bearish. It's kind of like what we were just talking about. See, I'm on the 6 minute now. 800, 600, 360. So it's unlikely that she will get much further than here before she, just gotta catch her breath, and then we can slowly try to recover some ground. But we're going to have some serious resistance up here, about 61.3-ish. But there's some nice things that happening too, so maybe we just kind of range through here for a little while on the smaller time frames. We're trying to slow down. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I will see you tomorrow night.